I had no idea. No idea. When I decided to tackle the second most sensational topic since the first Donald Trump assassination attempt, which, by the way, is going to hit 1 million views real soon. But when I decided to jump into the arena of firearm control, I didn't really anticipate that it would roll out a little something like this. First, we start out with the technical discussion. Well, you don't know the difference between this gun and that gun, therefore you're not equipped to speak on it. Or, that's not an automatic weapon, that's a semi-automatic weapon. You don't know nothing about guns. Or, I ain't even trying to kill a doe with a gun. And we call that the misdirection fallacy. Okay? But that's not enough. That's certainly not enough. So then we skip to the false equivalency. Well, you know, you can kill somebody with a rock or with a butter knife, or hell yeah, I used a big stick once that beat my cousin right to the dirt and buried him later. Yeah. Okay. Let's just ignore the fact that firearms are the most potent, efficient, and effective way to unalive a large group of people, especially children and innocent victims. And of course, it goes a little further down the bizarre trail to, I ain't trying to kill no doe with an AR-15. That's called a metaphor, by the way. When you say you don't need, a semi-automatic or automatic weapon to kill a woodland creature, it's a metaphor. It's a metaphor. But that shuck and jive isn't enough. If it isn't enough to try and throw folks off their game with the you don't understand guns, therefore you're not qualified to speak, or you don't know the difference between that, or define this or define that, or I don't use those things to kill deer, and da-da-da-da, then we get to, it's my God-given right to defend myself against a tyrannical government, and the government getting more tyrannical and socialist and communist and okay. Where's the tyranny? The only person that even bordered ever on wanting to be a tyrant, of course, is their guy. And he actually tried to overthrow our government, and you people were the ones with the guns. So are you gonna need them to defend yourselves against yourselves? No, you don't. And if that's the case, you shouldn't have them anyway. But that's not all. That's not all. Because when the false equivalency fails, when the tyranny argument fails, when the you don't understand the difference between this firearm and that firearm, therefore you're unqualified fails, when all the shuck and jive fails, well, then of course we resort to ad hominem. And it's not just any kind of attack, the other guy. It's an attack on the masculinity, because if you don't need a lot of firearms, not just one, but need and possess a lot of high-powered weaponry, you are somehow not masculine. You are a beta male. And here's the interesting thing about that. Not one woman in the thousands and thousands of comments, not one woman has mentioned anything about my masculinity. Not one woman. Not one woman has said this makes me beta. Not one woman has said this makes me somehow less masculine. Not one woman has even raised the question or the topic of anyone's masculinity, certainly not mine. So in summary, I dove into a pile of horse shit. And unfortunately, I dove into a pile of horse shit with a lot of guys who are really desperately insecure and afraid that without firearms, they'll be shown for the weak, without resolve, overly sensitive, terrified, puny little hearts, punier little brains that they are. And they feel somehow, just like the guys who had the souped up Camaro in high school and used to say, "Oh yeah, what year's your IROC?" Those guys. Just like the guys who needed something to pick themselves up or show themselves out because they didn't feel too good inside. Well, here's what I learned. A lot of you need a lot of pity. And a lot of you are very frightened and very scared. And a lot of you, your daddy's never hugged you. And that's why you think owning a firearm makes you somehow masculine or more virile or potent or what have you. I mean, I want to keep tearing into you, but at the end of the day, I just feel bad for you. I just feel bad for people who have to be defined by something that can unalive someone else. That's who you are. I just feel bad.